Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hello. This video will provide you a brief summary of each section from the poem The Wasteland, written by Stearns Eliot. First of all, let's have a brief introduction to the poem. The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot, published in 1922, is considered one of the most significant English poems of the 20th century and a cornerstone of modernist poetry. It was first published in the UK in Eliot's magazine The Criterion and in the US in The Dial. The Wasteland is divided into 5 sections. The Burial of the Dead introduces themes of disillusionment and despair. A Game of Chess portrays the emptiness of various characters' lives. The Fire Sermon meditates on self-denial and sexual dissatisfaction. Death by Water describes a drowned merchant. What the Thunder Said culminates the poem's themes through a desert journey. The Wasteland begins with a quote from Petronius' Obiter Satiricon in Latin and Greek about the Cumaean Sibyl wanting to die. This is followed by a dedication to Ezra Pound, who greatly influenced the poem's final version. Let us now look at the summary of the first section, that is, the Burial of the Dead. The first section begins with a description of the seasons. April symbolizes a cruel reminder of memory and love, with blooming lilacs and spring rain stirring up painful posters. Winter's warmth is missed, as life seems sheltered and suppressed like dried-up bulbs under the earth. Summer brings sudden freedom and reminiscences of childhood sledding. The narrator contemplates the barrenness of modern life and seeks solace in the shadow of death. Madame Sosostris, a renowned fortune-teller, ominously predicts death by water and a future filled with aimless wandering. In the fog-covered city, the narrator observes a crowd of isolated, alienated people, reflecting on the desolation of modern existence. The encounter with Stearns on London Bridge prompts a surreal conversation about death and decay. Through vivid imagery and cryptic dialogue, Eliot paints a bleak picture of a world plagued by emptiness and disconnectedness. Summary of Section 2, that is, A Game of Chess. This section begins with a woman sitting on a shining throne-like chair, surrounded by flickering candlelight and the scent of exotic perfumes. As she brushes her hair, she interrogates her companion, desperate for conversation and connection in their dismal world. Despite his silent responses, she rambles on, expressing her anxiety and longing for something more. This conversation is interrupted by the insistent call to leave the pub, a reminder of the mundane routine of their lives. Amidst their exchange, snippets of other conversations floats in, revealing the struggles of Lil, a woman pressured to maintain her appearance and her marriage despite personal hardships. As Lil confides in her, the woman responds with harsh judgment and indifference, highlighting the social expectations and the harsh reality of women's lives in their time. The scene ends with a recurring call to leave the pub, emphasizing the relentless passage of time and the monotony of their existence. Summary of Section 3, that is, the Fire Sermon. This section opens with the image of Thames River, wind crossing silently overhead. The river Thames serves as a symbol of decay and desolation. The once vibrant scene along its banks is now barren, devoid of life and nymphs. The river, polluted and deserted, flows softly as the narrator pens his poem. Amidst the gloom, memories and reflections intertwine. The narrator recalls fishing along the polluted canal, haunted by thoughts of their deceased family members. Yet amidst the bleakness, the promise of spring lurks as Savine prepares to meet Mrs. Porter. The scene shifts to a surreal encounter with Mr. Eugenides, a merchant from Smyrna, who invites the narrator for lunch and a weekend at the Metropole Hotel. As dusk falls, the scene transitions to a solitary woman's mundane routine, interrupted by the unwelcome advances of a young man. Disillusioned and alone, she reflects on her actions, finding solace in music. The poem meanders through the streets of London, capturing snippets of life and longing. The river, ever present, bears witness to the city's decay and the narrator's fragmented existence. Summary of Section 4, Death by Water. This section opens with Philebus, the Phoenician, who is dead for 2 weeks, is forgotten by the sea, and is once thriving business. His remains are slowly picked apart by the Caranthus. As he sinks, he reminisces on his past life and meets his end in a stormy whirlpool. Eliot reminds readers, regardless of background, to reflect on their mortality, invoking Philebus as a reminder of life's transience. Summary of Section 5, that is, what the thunder said. In this section, death and decay pervade the landscape. The once vibrant mountains are now desolate, devoid of water, life, or respite. Travelers long for water among the barren rocks but find none. As they traverse the lifeless terrain, they are haunted by a spectral presence, an ever-present third figure walking alongside them. The air is filled with eerie sounds. Hooded figures traverse endless plains, and cities crumble in the distance. In this bleak setting, a woman plays ominous music, and bats with baby faces flutter ominously. Even the chapel, home only to the wind, holds an eerie atmosphere. Amidst this desolation, the narrator reflects on the fleeting nature of existence and the inevitability of death. Memories of lustful acts and the remorse they bring echo through the empty rooms, while thoughts of imprisonment and control dominate the mind. Through fragmented narratives and disjointed images, Eliot captures the despair and disintegration of a world in decline.